Good evening, and thank you for joining me again. So, I slept out again last night. People had been talking about yesterday being the end of the good weather, so I thought I would make the most of it by indulging in another night camped out on the swing seat. I went out quite early, before last light, and lay on the swing seat watching the sky. The moon is almost full at the moment, and I watched it climb up from behind the copper beech tree, at some points almost hidden from sight by the density of the leaves, and at other points shining vividly through the bigger gaps. I watched as it climbed above the beech tree and met with the fine cloud that was coming in. I could still see it quite clearly, but the clouds made it fuzzy and spread its light out in a big golden halo. There were lots of bats skimming around in the dark, and the gentle chirr of a nightjar who is either a new or maybe just a newly noticed addition to the local nightlife. Over the next half an hour or so, the sky clouded over completely. The moon and the stars disappeared. I could hear a couple of passing foxes at one point, but I couldn't even see their shadows. The stillness and the silence was really deep. Nothing was moving, not one single leaf. And when the cat jumped up onto the swing seat to join me, I jumped too, because I had been so deeply immersed in the silence that surrounded me, I hadn't seen her coming. The next time that I registered anything was about 4:20 this morning. First light was just beginning to dawn, and everything was still, totally calm and unmoving. And then the silence was broken. A song thrush, often one of the first of the dawn chorus, was somewhere high up in a tree singing out across the morning, letting all the other birds know that this is their territory and daring anyone else to argue with them. After a few minutes of solo song thrush, a robin and a blackbird began to join in. Those particular birds are often among the first in the wonderful cacophony that is the dawn chorus. And then something I really hadn't been expecting happened. One of our very few house martins appeared and began to do circuits of the lawn, calling loudly and dramatically the whole time. The chorus built up and up and up, and I lay there stretched out in my sleeping bag, very much enjoying something that is not so easily experienced when you're sleeping inside. I guess I must have drifted off again, because the next time I woke up, it was to the sound of rain pattering on the canvas of the swing seat above my head. There's something very cosy and comforting about sleeping out when it's raining, as long as you're not actually getting soaked in the process. For me, there's something about that sound that's like the tawny owl I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. It's one of those sounds that says, everything is okay, it's all right, God's got this. One of the gifts of lockdown, for me at least, has been having the time to stop and simply listen. I know that this hasn't been the case for everyone, but I am grateful that I've been able to be awake at 4 o'clock in the morning to listen to the dawn chorus without having to worry about things like whether I'm too tired to drive safely later that morning. I'm grateful for the times when the traffic has stopped and the aeroplanes have not been flying over, and I have been able to enjoy the deep silence of a still night. I'm grateful for the quiet in my house when I'm at home alone and the others are at work, that lets me hear the noise of the woodpecker on the peanut feeder and the starlings squabbling over the mealworms. I wonder what you can hear around you right now. I wonder what you would hear if you stepped outside your door after dark tonight. I wonder what you would hear if you were awake at 4:30 tomorrow morning. If you've never done it, maybe you'd like to find out. Silence can truly be a wonderful gift that's not always as quiet as we think it is. I'd like to finish off this evening with a prayer that Christian Climate Action regularly use to finish our morning prayer sessions. So this is a First Nations blessing. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life. Amen. May we all be blessed by the wonderfulness of the creation that God has given us. Thank you for joining me this evening. See you again tomorrow, I hope. Bye for now.